Want to enjoy some of the best beaches Australia has to offer? Welcome to Byron Bay. Out of all the stops along the east coast of Australia, Byron Bay is by far my favourite. This sleepy little hippie town on northern New South Wales is famous for its barefoot lifestyle, surfing and amazing beaches. So if you want to discover the best slices of sand that Byron Bay has to offer, here's my full Byron Bay beach guide. We're going to start at Belongil, head down to the Wreck, Main Beach, Clark's, all around to the famous Pass, and then along the coastline to Wategos, Little Wategos, Tallows and beyond. And of course, if you want to complete the famous Byron Bay Lighthouse Walk, you can use this as your route guide. So let's get started. First up, we're up the beach at Belongil, which is the furthest northern beach of Byron that we're going to cover today. It's about a 10-minute walk from the main beach and the Wreck, and it's a beautiful sunny spot. It's a lot more chilled than the other beaches around Byron, as it's a little bit further out of town. There's also some great hostels and bars and restaurants here as well, including the Treehouse, which does the best pizza in town. Now surf-wise, as you can see behind me, it's not massive today, but Belongil has a really nice right-hand beach break, which is suitable for all levels of surfer, except on a bigger swell where it can get pretty heavy. So just be aware of that. So yeah, first up, Belongil. If you wandered back down into town from Belongil, the next section of beach you come across is called the Wreck. Now this is easily recognizable from the iconic shipwreck that sticks out of the water at low tide. Now surf-wise, the Wreck is a pumping left-hander off the T-bar and also a right-hander off the boilers. It is an intermediate to advanced surf spot only, especially when the surf gets bigger. When there is no swell around, it's also a great snorkeling spot. Now to get to the Wreck beach, it's an easy walk from the centre of Byron through the Wreck car park, which you can see behind me from here. And if you decide to do the Lighthouse Walk all the way up to Cape Byron Lighthouse, you can start from here and do most of it along the beach. And now we're off to the next section of beach, Main Beach. Now we're at Main Beach, and funnily enough, it's called that because it is the main beach of Byron Bay. Situated right in front of the lifeguard hut and also the beach hotel, which is perfect for a sunset beer, Main Beach is a great spot to head. As you can see behind me, it's the only spot in the guide that is lifeguard patrolled. So if you want to go for a swim or have families or kids with you, it's the perfect spot for a safe place for a dip. Surf-wise, there's plenty of peaks all along Main Beach offering lefts and rights, and it can handle a huge range of swell. So depending on what size the surf is, it can be great for beginners, intermediate or advanced surfers. Now, as you can see behind me, there's Cape Byron Lighthouse down in the distance. You'll start here and head down towards Clark Beach, which is our next stop. Now, the corner of the bay is also known as Clark's Beach, and it's a great spot to wander along to, especially when Main Beach is pretty busy in peak season. Surf-wise, there's usually some fun waves around here. It's also where the dolphin kayaking tours launch from, which is a great tour to do whenever you're in Byron Bay. And then, of course, you head up the corner to the Pass. So we've now made our way up from Clark's, the most famous stretch of sand in Byron Bay, the Pass. Now, the Pass is famous for its epic right-hand sandy bottom point break, which is perfect for longboarders and people on mini-miles. Now, because of the sandy bottom, it is suitable for all levels of surfer. However, be aware there are a lot of crowds here, so just be aware when you are in the water. Another awesome part of the Pass is the Rock Lookout, which is the perfect place to view the surf, and also go dolphin and also whale watching here if you're in Byron in the right season. Now, it is about a 20-minute walk from the centre of town to the Pass, or you can park in the car park as well. It's $4 an hour, and be aware that in peak season it does get super crowded in the car park, so you probably are better off walking. Now let's head along the track up to Cape Byron Lighthouse. Next up, Wategos. Once you walk around the coastal headland from the Pass, you'll find yourself at my favourite beach in Byron Bay, Wategos. Now, as you can see, Wategos is a really nice, mellow, sandy beach. It's great for families, kids and surfers. The wave out here is really mellow, so great for longboarders and beginners as well. Now, one of the best things about Wategos is the fact that it has free barbecues right on the beachfront. So bring along a couple of beers and some food and cook yourself up some treats. It's also a great place for a swim, especially if it's a hot day while you're doing the Byron Bay Lighthouse Walk. And from here, you follow the track easily up around the corner. Next stop, Little Wategos. As you head along the coastal path from Wategos up to Cape Byron Lighthouse, keep an eye out for a sign on your left-hand side and take the track down and you'll find yourself at Little Wategos. This awesome little beach is often overlooked as there isn't a car park access to it, so you do need to take the beach track down. You'll usually get this whole place to yourself, so it's a perfect spot for a swim or a bit of relaxing sunbathing. And while you're here, take the time to go up to the point where you can watch the annual whale migration or keep an eye out for the resident pods of dolphins that call this spot home. And of course, when you're done soaking up the sun, head back up the path and next stop, Cape Byron Lighthouse. And of course, the main reason you're heading on the Byron Bay Lighthouse Walk is to check out Cape Byron Lighthouse itself. Now, this iconic Aussie landmark sits really close to the most easterly point of Australia, so that's a must-do stop for a photo along the walk itself. Now, from here, you've got an amazing vantage point across the coast to the south to Tallows and Broken Head, and also north into Byron Bay itself. It's a great spot to check out sunrise or sunset. Sunset is incredible, and there will be a crowd up here, but if you want to get up for the crack of dawn and head here for sunrise, and be one of the first people in Australia to see the morning light, it's an amazing spot to head. Now, once you've checked out all the views at Cape Byron Lighthouse, you can start making your way back into town. Now, you've got two options with this. You can follow the road all the way back into the main part of Byron Bay, or you can veer around to the left and head down the jungle track down to Tallows Beach, which is behind me here. Now, Tallows Beach is a really awesome little beach to chill out on. It's much less busy than all of the other beaches in this guide because it's a little bit of a walk out of town. In fact, it's probably about a 25-minute walk from the centre of town or about a 5-10 minute drive. There are limited car parking spaces there, so be aware in peak season it can get pretty full pretty quick. Surf-wise, Tallows is full of awesome breaks all along the beach, especially Cozy Corner, which sits in against the bottom of the cape. Now, these are really punchy hollow waves, so intermediate and advanced surfers only. Now, right in the distance, there's a bonus beach right down the end there called Broken Head. Now, this is an awesome little beach to check out on your way into or out of Byron Bay, or as a little day trip from the town itself. It's about a 15-20 minute drive from Byron, but it's well worth checking out. The beach break there is super fun for all levels of surfer, and when the swell's pumping, the point is epic as well. So make sure you go to check those out. That's it for this week, guys. I hope you've enjoyed my guide to the best beaches that Byron Bay has to offer and the Cape Byron Lighthouse Walk. Now, if you have any questions about Byron Bay, make sure you add them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. And also check out the links in the description below for my full guides to surfing, beaches, where to stay and what to do in Byron Bay. As always, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.